Chapter 6 Ram Navami from next year 1913. The items in the program of Ram Navami began to increase. Radha Krishnamai started a Nam Saptaha, singing the glory of God's name continuously day and night for 7 days. From 11th day of Chaitra, for this all devotees took part by turns, and she also joined it sometimes early in the morning. As Ram Navami festival is celebrated in many places all over the country, the difficulty of getting a Haridas was felt again. But 5 or 6 days before the festival, Mahajani incidentally met Balabo, who was known as modern Tukaram, and got him to do the Kirtan that year. The next year, 1914, another Balabo Satakar of Birhad Siddha Kavate districts Sathara could not act as a Haridas in his own town, as plague was prevailing there, and so he came to Shirdi with Baba's permission, which was secured through Kaka Sahib Dikshit. He did the Kirtan and was sufficiently recompensed for his labor. Difficulty of getting of a new Haridas every year was finally solved from 1914 by Sai Baba. He entrusted this function to Das Ganu Maharaj permanently, and since that time he has been successfully and creditably conducting that function until now. Since 1912, the festival began to grow gradually year by year. From 8th to 12th of Chaitra, Shirdi looked like a beehive of men. Shops began to increase. Celebrated whisters took part in whistling bouts. Feeding of the poor was done on a grander scale. Hard work and sincere efforts of Radha Krishnamai turned Shirdi into a Sansthan state. Paraphernalia increased. A beautiful horse, phalanx, chariot, and presented elephants were also sent for the procession. Though all these presented elephants paraphernalia increased enormously, Sai Baba ignored all these things. That both the Hindus and maintained his simplicity and modesty as before. It is to be noted, both Hindus and Mohammedans have been working in unison in both the processions during the entire festival, and there has been no confrontation or quarrel between them at all so far. First, about 5,000 to 7,000 people used to gather, but that figure went up to 75,000 in some years, till there was no outbreak of any epidemic disease nor any riots worth the name during past so many years. Repaired to the masjid. Another important idea occurred to Gopal Gand. Just as he started the Urus or fair, he thought that he should repair and renovate them dressed. But this work was not assigned to him. This was reserved initially for Nana Sahib Chandodkar and the payment work for Kaka Sahib Dikshit. Initially, Baba was unwilling to allow them to have hard work done, but with the intervention of Mahalsapati, a local devotee of Baba. His permission was secured. Baba took a small gadi for his seat, discarding the usual piece of sack cloth used till then. In 1911, Sabha Mandap court yard was also put in order with great labor and effort. The open space, Dikshit wanted to extend it and put a roofing on it. A great expense. He got iron pots, pillars and trusses and started the work. At night, all the devotees worked hard and fixed the post. But Baba, when he returned from Chavadi next morning, uprooted them all and threw them out. Once it so happened that Baba got very excited and caught a pole with one hand and began to soak and uproot it, and with the other hand caught Tatya Patil's neck. He took to force. Tatya Peta struck a match, set it on fire and threw it in a pit. At all time Baba's eyes flashed like burning embers. None dared to look at him. All got terribly frightened. Baba took out a rupee from his pocket and threw it there as if it were an offering on an auspicious occasion. Tatya was also much frightened. Known what was going to happen to Tatya, and none dared to interfere. Bagoji Shinde, the leper devotee of Baba, made a bold advance, but he was pushed aside by Baba. Madhara was also similarly treated, pelted with brick pieces. So all those who went to intercede were similarly dealt with, but after some time Baba's anger cooled down. He sent for a shopkeeper, got from him as embroidery peta, and himself tied it on Tatya's head as if he was being given a special honor. All the people were wonder-struck to see this strange behavior of Baba. They were at a loss of know what enraged Baba so suddenly, and what led him to assault Tatya Patil, and why his anger cooled down the next moment. Baba was sometime very calm and quiet, and talked sweet things with love, but suddenly, with or without any reason, not enraged. Many such incidents may be related, but I do not know which to choose and which to omit. I therefore refer them as they occur to me. In the next chapter, the question whether Baba was a Hindu or a Mohammedan will be taken up, and his yogic